วัสดีครับ we will start this course by introducing you what is physics. What is physics? Physics is a branch of science. Okay. And when we talk about science, conventionally, we can say that science has three branches. That is physics, okay, chemistry, and biology. Okay. The aim of physics is to study the physical world. The aim of physics is to study the physical world. But nowadays, it is accepted that physics is the most fundamental science. It's the most fundamental science, which means that now many people, many scientists use physics to study chemistry, okay, and biology. Use the physical, the physics, or the physical method to study chemistry and biology. So we can say that the physics is the most fundamental science, and it is also the fundamental of modern technology. The fundamental of modern technology. Okay, so that is physics. Okay. Among these three branches of science, physics has we may say that character of the physics is that physics is the quantitative science, which means that the knowledge of physics need to be expressed in terms of the number, or especially using the mathematics as a language. And today, from the advance of the computer technology, we now also use the computer as a tool for the calculation in physics. However, physics is a branch of science, so it is like every branch of science that the validity of the physical theory of the physical theory is based on the experiment. This means that if you want to test any physical theory, you need to go to the experiment. If the theory agree well with the experiment, it means that that theory is seemed to be correct. But if the theory is not agree, or if there is any conflict between theory and experiment, new theory is needed to solve this conflict. Okay. Now, let's see that we can categorize the physics into subjects as follows. We can say that physics is categorized to be the mechanics, which is the science of motion, and we will study mainly on this subject in this course. Okay. The thermodynamics, which is a science of heat and energy transfer. We will also study this subject in this course too. Okay. The electromagnetics, which is a science of electricity and magnetism, and also the electric field and magnetic field. And we will also we can say that there is a sub branch of the electromagnetic theory that we call it the optics. Optic is a science of light, but today we know that light is an electromagnetic wave, so we can say that optic is a branch of the electromagnetic theory. Anyway, in practice, it is simpler to study some property of light separately from the electromagnetic theory, but if you want to go deeply into the subject, you have to study the optic or the sign of light as the electromagnetic wave. Okay. This subject, we call it them the classical physics. The classical physics is the physics that we study before, or we have the theory of this subject before 1900. Okay, before 1900, physicists have studied these three subjects and has the knowledge of all of these three subjects, at least in the main knowledge. And physicists think that they know everything at that time because they know the sign of motion, they know the sign of heat, and they know the sign of electricity and magnetism, and also the sign of light. But this is not true. This is not correct. After year 1900, there are many experimental results that show the inadequate of the classical physics. It means that classical physics cannot explain many phenomena that the physicists discovered after the year 1900, and it means that the new theory is needed, and it is the birth of what we call the modern physics. Modern physics. The modern physics, there is a main two theory in the modern physics. It is the relativity, okay, and quantum theory. Relativity deal with the object that move with the velocity that close to that of light. Okay, this is a subject for the relativity. For the quantum theory deal with the system at the atomic level or smaller. Okay. As mentioned before, that we will study the mechanics, thermodynamics, which is a part of the classical physics in this course. The electromagnetic theory includes optics, and the modern physics will be studied in the physics 2 after you pass this physics 1.